Welcome to another episode of Inaitwaje Uongo hiyo. Yeah, welcome to another episode. Where? Yeah, welcome to another episode of Talk with Nelmo. And I'm just like coming back, and this is actually a monologue because then, of course, the week we have been treated with the president touring different parts of Nairobi. Now, of course, tumemwona in different areas. We have actually seen a lot happening. We have seen promises continue, lies continue. I've seen a lot of things, but also we have seen him talking about the names. Now, let me just tell you, even before I get to talking about my topic for today, majina ambazo tunampea, I basically want to talk about what have been happening. So first of all, so I'm recording this on a Friday 14th March, and leo ndo ile siku alikuwa anazunguka parts of Eastland, southern part of Eastland, so coming from Kayole kienda hivyo Jogoo Road, come all the way to Lunga, but basically yeah, very near, like actually mahali tunakuanga na our center in Mukuru kwa Ruben. So basically he was on the other side, and in all, like for today I actually decided to walk home, na nikitembea wase walikuwa nasema the amount of looting yenye me happen, the amount of theft, watu kuibiwa na nini. And I remember actually when he was in Mathare, unajua maidho alikuwa anaibia watu akisema nini, mwizi mkubwa amekuja, so sisi waizi wadogo tuacheni tuibe. That actually started from the first day let's call toka Isilia kaenda Sharumoyo. And actually police were actually letting people scot free because hautaki kuleta hiyo commotion mahali president ako. Unfortunately, so many people lost their property, so many people were mugged, so many people were injured all the way from the first day. And I really wonder how comes, because leo we were actually having conversation with my fellow young people, and tulikuwa nasema for me I don't think I want to go to that rally, because at the end of the day, hata kama wako kwetu, you may find that youth wengine wa other areas, people who don't know you in your area, so you rather keep off the rallies. And actually most of the people who were in the rallies, not all of them but most, because like I had the people who were in Mathare, mostly are the people working in climate works na nini, and most of them actually were robbed. And so many like people, hata wala tu mtu alikuwa amefungwa biashara yake. So actually the economic impact ya ile kitu Ruto amefanya in the last, is it 3 days, it's actually a huge blow to business people, the so-called hustlers, the so-called mamambogas, the so-called watu wa boda boda, because biashara zao zijaendelea. So many people have lost their property. Leo nimesikia watu walikuwa naibiwa paka magas na nini. So it's very unfortunate that this is happening in this time and age. And I think people, even in the comment section of some of the live feeds on the both State House social media and also his personal social media, watu walikuwa nasema amekosa kitu ya kufanya, because at the end of the day, let's just look at some of the projects zimekuwa launched. From the first day when he was launching that football pitch huko Eastleigh and launching a vocational training that had been launched earlier, going to launching the sewer system, I think in Shaurimoyo, and launching the housing project in Shaurimoyo, coming to the second day in Mathare, where he was launching not Mathare, the second day in Mathare, mahali alikuwa na launch basically the affordable housing along the river and so many other things. Na tukiangalia, like most of these things are things either that they have been launched previously, because I remember this is the same thing he promised when people walibomolewa huko Mathare. Aliyesema manyumba zitajengwa nini na nini loni, no, but I don't really understand why we have to launch, relaunch, go back and launch again. Yeah, so that is in Mathare, and actually that's when most of the loot, most of the robberies happened. And I think jana tuliona a few, but kusema tu kweli, those are just it was just a mere thing kuonesha na gava inafanya kazi, but at the end of the day tunaona wale watu walishikwa, like the people who were said to have been arrested, certain watu ukiangalia how many people were doing it, because the fact that Thika Road, watu walikuwa funga Thika Road, robbing people, that are just actually after the president left. And then let's move from there. Let's go to Kibera. Kibera also, same incidents has happened, but also look what he was launching and the promises. And I think actually I was wondering, yeah, we make the budget, but then where do all this money come from? That ataamka tu, like tumerudi saidi wakati wa Moi, ile wakati Moi alikuwa anaamka leo anasema project nafanywa ni na hii without even listening to parliament na nini. And then now we come to today, the same thing basically. I think I have already explained what happened today. But then on that trail, I think on Jana, that is on in Kibera and in Mukuru. No, actually in Kibera, so that is Thursday and Friday, he mentioned about being called names. Now, I think one of the names ni alijipea Hustler. When we were talking about Hustler, na actually akaribia kijana wetu X-ray career na Spangwingwi, because actually that is, I don't know why, sijui nini happen, but just look at it. If you're very vocal as an artist in Kenyan politics and you do music for politician, career yako inaanza kwenda kuspiral down. Look at Ben Igedhae, look at ule mama alikuwa anaimbia Azimio, alikuwa anaitwa nani? Ile wakati wa NASA, I think. Even look the artist, even the vernacular artist when waliimbia NASA ile time, come all the way to the last election with X-Ray and so many other artists. So at the end of the day, it doesn't make any artist better. So let's come back to talking about Majina. So Hustler, alijita Hustler. Now people elected him on Hustler narrative. We know all about it. But then when he came to power, he was given his first name. Remember what the name was? Zakayo. And actually the name started last year. So alipewa jina Zakayo kwa nini? Because of introducing taxes. I think actually the name started in 2023 because of high taxation. And people started complaining because the high taxation and nini. And Zakayo in the Bible is related to collecting taxes na nini, and he was the tax collector. So yeah, alipewa Zakayo, which he actually came and owned it. Let's move from Zakayo. After Zakayo, after last year, when basically he was when young people died, unfortunately young people died, when we went to the streets to reject the finance bill, and we had young people being killed, and then to compare Jina must go. After Zakayo, tukasema must go. So basically because of the chant, the most popular chant right now in Kenya, the Ruto must go chant. But then people started even calling him must go. And then sidhani hiyo anataka kuiongea sana because hataki kujua kusema anaitwa must go. And then let's move from must go and then come to Kasongo. And actually we are trying to decipher it today morning what Kasongo stands for. Na hiyo hapo tukiangalia Kasongo basically from my understanding, I don't know, you can correct me. You can leave it on the comment. So Kasongo, from my understanding, it's we actually related. So we put the soundtrack and related it to the Warthog, because it said that the Warthog forgets really fast. You can chase a Warthog and then ikikimbia hivyo, ikifika mahali inasahau mbona inakimbia. So it will actually go back to where it was. Ikiingia kwa shimo itasahau ilikuwa inakimbizwa na simba, then a few minutes or seconds later it's out. So basically he was called that because that's how he forgets that he lied yesterday and then starts lying today about the same thing or a different thing or ana shift. Like for example today in Mukuru, jana aliambia watu wa Kibera itaacha kwa slum. But today in Mukuru, when he was asked by the MCA and the MP watu huko wasibomolewa, akasema hakuna mahali watu wa Mukuru watabomolewa. And remember, total informal settlement almost the same to Kibera. So contradiction. Yesterday he said we have to make sure that Kibera is an estate. But then when it comes to Mukuru, then yeah, he doesn't talk about. Actually, let me talk about viwandani, because tukisema Mukuru, alisema Mukuru inakaa London. Yeah. Then from Kasongo, tulimpia gani? Let me remember. So yeah, so we've been running with Kasongo for a very long time. Actually, the other one is Kaongo. So people changed, removed the S and decided, actually, we don't think calling you Kasongo makes any sense. Wachata tukwambie sasa tukuite the right one, which is Kaongo, which has not gained as popularity. Right now, with his mention about the chapati, 1 million chapati, alisema Sakaja, who is his caliber, or yeah, like, Zakayo is also another person mwenye basically delivering for Nairobians had been a tall order for him. I don't really understand what's up. But alimwambia nataka bayo machine ya kutengeneza 1 million chapatis. And I don't want to get into the cost nani, but the cost is almost like 10 times to the amount the Nairobi county spend. The cost of making chapatis, the 1 million chapatis, is almost 9 to 10 times similar to 9 to 10 times more than the amount that Zakayo is using to feed Nairobi kids, the 300,000 that he's saying he's feeding. So that is the part of it. You can go and watch. People have actually done all the maths and how much it will cost. I think it's 11 billion or something per year. So people started calling him El Chapo, and I just want to show you how our president has stooped too low and that doesn't really understand what is going on in Kenya. El Chapo was one person that killed so many people. Chapo was a drug dealer. Chapo was a money launderer. El Chapo was a cartel leader. El Chapo murdered so many people in Mexico. Yeah, if you can remember the name of the cartel, I think so. Yeah. So yeah, if you can remember the name of the cartel, but if you look at these things, apart from to their drugs, but if you look at these other things, it's things that our president has been accused. He's been accused of killing. From 2007, he was actually at the ICC. Last year, we've been like the blood of the Gen Z is on his hands, and even the abduction and everything, which is something that El Chapo, the real El Chapo from Mexico, really does. Then, of course, money laundering. And I remember Matiang'i saying, actually, we'll end up electing money launderers into parliament and in all government offices. Which is the other one? And head of the cartel, because you can see all everyone that the president tries to surround himself with. So El Chapo, it actually fits you the best, because then it's like a culmination of all the things. Tulikuita Kasongo. Kasongo was one-sided. It just like focused on one area. Tukakuita Kaongo. Tukakuita Zakayo. But now El Chapo basically brings his disorder. And nakumbuka El Chapo pia was taking taxes, because then you could not operate in an area without giving the cartel a cut of whatever you are selling. So not actually even right now, because there are cartels even right now. I think you're going to see a lower cartel. Yeah, if I'm not wrong. So, and this is the basis. The president, you're being called names. You're tone deaf. I understand shida ni nini. You don't want to listen. You don't want to imagine why people are actually calling you names. And you going around Nairobi on a campaign mode, talking about tribalism. And that actually, if we're talking about tribalism, but you acting it despite other people are talking it, because you can I can actually say I can say I'm a tribalist, but then I don't act it. But then you behave it, which is more harmful. The people who say, yes, I'm a racist, yet. But then that's where they finish it. They don't wanna. But then there are people who will try to say I'm not a racist, but then everything that they do is racist. So I don't think we have to continue just getting kwa hii conversation ya kusema yeah, I am, I'm not. But the truth is, unless actually it's not even unless. A funny thing, yeah, I'm sorry, but wasale wamekuwa kusema even if, and I'm sorry to say this, even if a dog runs against the president, the dog will win. Because people want to get rid of Ruto. Not because there is currently we have an alternative, outright alternative, but because of what he stands for. Because people are like, if we remove Ruto there, then vitu zita change. Like we'll see, even if we won't get the Kenya we want, but we'll actually have moved the person who is making is he like it's hard even to explain. So, and I think the reason why you actually in all these rallies we have not been seeing Rao na everyone is because people are like it's not about who it is. Yani sahi Ruto atasapotiwe na nani? Wase washasema zi atukudai. And people know, and you'll see their alignments. Kudanganyi 1 year to the next election or 2 years to the next election. Actually, even a few months to the election, you'll see people abandoning Ruto. A lot of them who are on with him on the campaign trail. Yet, whatever Sifuna was saying, utaona the same thing. So, so the president, you're tone deaf. You don't really understand why people are calling you names. I think you need to sit down and uandike hizo majina zote and research on them and understand why people are calling you these names. Right now, like, people will protest in so many ways. You get the fact that you don't see as many people coming to, even if like, let me talk about the crowds. Let's say, you have the crowds, they come. But let me tell you the truth. If you look at the people who are responding to what you people are saying, are less than 50 people. Look, enda tu kwa clip zako zote. Hata mkisema inua mkono. Look at how many people are looking ignoring the mkono. Get? So, at the end of the day, you have to read the mood on the ground. Watu wamechoka. People are not coming to your rallies because they love you. Nakuja tu, because even for me, like I like watching live events. I like watching hizo my inauguration, nini, na I like watching hizo political rallies. Sometimes I just want to listen to what people are saying. It's not because I'm your fan. It's because it's something I like doing. I will want to, for example, sometimes I will just want to go to a concert because I want to see the setup venye imefanywa. Not because I like that artist, but sometimes it's to see the setup. You need to learn something from it. And basically, wase wengine wanakuja tu waseme, niliona president. Anakuaga, anakaa hivi. Niliona, get? That's basically why people are coming to your rallies. Not because they love you. Otherwise, ingekuwa watu wako na kitu ya kufanya. Because the only reason why people are coming to your rallies, people are jobless, people are hopeless, people don't have anything else. So they're just looking for a way that they'll have something to talk about. Akitoka hapo apunguze hiyo stress. That's the only reason wase wanakam kwa hizo rally zako. So, yeah. After all is said and done, it's all upon us, all Kenyans. And yeah, 2027 inakuja, but as we continue saying, it may not get 2027. It may even be closer. If the right things goes the right way, if the right people decide to do the right thing, actually 2027 may be too far for you. Yeah. Talk will learn more. Until next time.
People cannot stand Elon Musk